B1, P1, workout B, circuit training. So this is a little bit different. Now with circuit training, in the past, we usually would do 2 exercises, 1 on the minute, every minute, paired up with another exercise. Things have changed now. We're adding in a little bit of new variations just because we want to play around with just different types of circuit. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 different circuits, and we're only running them for 9 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin with a jam ball slam. Starting from 8 reps going down to 1. I don't need to demo that exercise because we know how to do a jam ball slam. The thing that I would focus more on is creating a lot of force. Knowing that it's a power exercise, we start with 8, then 7, then 6, go down to 1. But the goal is to make sure that you are expressing a lot of force and power in the slam. So really focus on creating a loud noise as you slam the jam ball. Afterwards, we're going to go into a dumbbell suitcase march. We're going to take 6 steps. I don't need to demo that. Our goal is to make sure that we maintain our shoulders in alignment. We're tall and tight, and driving your feet into the ground. Then we're going to go back into that half kneeling dowel stretch, ankle stretch. So again, going into this bottom position, holding that dowel on the outside, driving that heel down, going outward, getting this ankle to really open up and mobilize. So we're going to do these 3 exercises for 9 minutes, and we're just going to keep doing them until the time is done. So that's the first block that we're doing, is some power. The next round is going to be deadlifts, single arm dumbbell bench press, and rib grabbing. With deadlifts, we know how to deadlift. The goal here is to make sure that we're informing our members to drive our feet actively into the ground. So when they're getting themselves set up, I have that kettlebell in line with my ankles, I'm going through my hinge, and I'm actively driving my feet into the ground. Again, we want to maintain that tall and tight position and make sure that the hips are doing the majority of the work. Next, we're going to pair that up with a single arm dumbbell bench press. The weight should be light. We're doing 10 reps on each side. So when you're going through that single arm dumbbell bench press, actively make sure that that elbow is pulling down just in line with that armpit to press back up. Whether this hand is in a neutral position or as a set position makes no difference, just depends on where you're at activity-wise. Then going back into that rib grab, again, those knees are stacked, that hand goes above that rib, we're pulling and rotating to the side. Now, the reason that we're doing a single arm dumbbell bench press is because we are just going to be focusing in on unilateral upper body exercises. Prior to that, we're doing a bilateral lower body pulling with the deadlift, then wrapping up with our upper body mobility. So the last block that we're going to talk about is split squats, single arm kettlebell rows, and banded bicep curls. With that split squat, it's going to be body weight because it's volume. Again, we're doing lighter weights, higher repetition, so we're not loading as much. With that split squat, you can use a TRX or you can use just body weight. Begin with the hands behind the head, driving that foot to the ground, lock out, slow and controlled down. So when you're going through those, make sure to be watching your feet. Don't just kind of let the member get set up and just kind of go wherever. Make sure that that heel is either behind that knee or in line. And as you're pressing up, don't let your knee fall inward. So we want to actively press slightly outward as we lock out, then lower ourselves down. So what we're going to pair that up with is a single arm kettlebell row. We're going to do 8 on each side. So just take a step back. Make sure to focus on having a firm grip on that bell. Pull that shoulder down slightly behind the ribs. Hand goes towards the hip. Then we're going to wrap up with a banded bicep curl. With that banded bicep curl, just step inside the band. Keep those elbows in tight. Pull up so the hands are in front of the shoulders. Slow and controlled down. We're going to be doing 8 reps there. So through this part, what we're doing is unilateral pushing, lower body, unilateral upper body pulling horizontally, finishing up with some bicep work. Why? Because people want that. So might as well start throwing that in very periodically. specifically for this phase of training.